everybody, it's dim sum time again, and today on the menu I have for you vegan ginger and scallion tripe, and this is such a yummy and savory dish. And really, for those of you who have cooked tripe before, you know how easy it is to get it super rubbery, but we're actually going to be using fried tofu for this, so it's going to come out nice and tender every time. So I can't wait to show you guys this recipe. Okay, so to start off with, I have 2 sheets of these fried Japanese tofus, and I'm just going to cut them up into strips so that they mimic beef tripe a little bit more. And I would say that if you actually had morel mushrooms at your disposal, that's going to actually be a really nice substitution as well. It's going to be kind of like nice and crunchy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those strips into some boiling water, and I didn't actually put this in there, but salt this as well, like a nice generous pinch of salt, just so that the tofu can get some of that flavor in it. Otherwise, it's going to taste very, very bland. So I'm gonna boil this for about 5 minutes, drain it, put more boiling water on it, and then do it again, just so that I can get that kind of oily film off of the tofu first. So afterwards, I am basically gonna drain it and then put it into the refrigerator or just leave it out for a couple of hours to dry. Now we basically have the holy trinity in Chinese cooking. So we have scallions, ginger, and then some garlic. And what I'm gonna do is I want strips of nearly all of these. So for the ginger, I've just cut them into just really small sheets, and then to cut them up and julienne them into little matchsticks like this. So I need about a teaspoon. And then for the garlic, just smashed garlic so that we can take it out afterwards. I personally like a lot of scallions in mine, so I'm just really going to be using the white parts and then the light green parts. So just kind of cut them in half and then cut them into strips as well. So you need one more thing before we start frying. I have about 2 tablespoons of water along with about a teaspoon of cornstarch, and this is just going to create a nice sauce for you guys afterwards, and it's also going to keep the tofu strips kind of nice and moist. Okay, so time for frying. I have about a teaspoon of oil over medium heat, and I'm going to just put in the ginger and the garlic first, and just cook them for about 2 minutes or so, up until they release the flavors and that garlic kind of loses that harshness. Just be careful not to burn that garlic because it does get easily burned. And then afterwards, I'm going to turn the heat up and I'm going to put in all of my tofu, which is actually nice and dry now. And I'm just going to be putting in a little bit of white pepper and then a nice pinch of salt as well. You can kind of adjust a little bit afterwards. I have about a teaspoon of rice wine, and that'll just provide some extra depth to this. I'm actually going to put in a pinch of sugar as well, and that really balances out the flavor, as well as a half a teaspoon of soy sauce. Finally, all of the scallions get added in. This is probably a little bit more than you would actually need. I would say about a half of that, but I already cut it and I really like scallions, so whatever. So you're just gonna cook it for probably another 30 seconds up until the scallions wilt just a little bit, and then put in that cornstarch mixture, and it should develop a nice thick sauce for you right at the bottom. So this thing cooks so quickly. After about 30 seconds, just turn off the heat and you're basically all set to serve. So if you guys are doing it for a dim sum preparation, which we are today, usually you'll put it into individual portions. So I have kind of like a really small plate like that, and I'm just going to put everything onto that. I'm basically going to steam it for about 4 to 5 minutes, so boiling water already. And what this does is it actually makes I find it makes the tofu kind of a little bit more tender, a little bit more moist, but also the condensation from the water kind of mixes in with the sauce again and kind of gets everything nice and soft. And there you go, that's the money shot we're looking for. All nice and steamy and savory. Oh, this dish is so good. I mean, I just love the smell and the perfume from the ginger and the garlic and the scallions. It really makes quite that combination. anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this really quick and simple recipe, and remember you can always substitute for morel mushrooms if you have them available. As usual, if you want to see more recipes like this, remember to hit that like and subscribe button, okay? I'll see you guys again next time. Bye!